Hi everyone, welcome back to video 5. Video 4. Video 4. I'm getting a little bit in front of myself. This one is just talking about the cardstock, okay? So bringing in the cardstock for our card and just doing a simple basic card. Sometimes with vellum you don't want to do it too hard, but there's so much you can do. Now this is the very basic card, okay? Very basic. And later on through I'll show you how to do die cutting with vellum and how to use embossing folders with vellum and how to emboss in powders with vellum. But at the moment this one is just our basic card. We're just making our very first vellum card. You've never done vellum before, you don't want it too hard. So let's come down to our workbench. Oh, let's pull that up a little bit. So this is still my normal standard card. So those of you who know me really well, my standard card is 21 centimeters by 14.5 and scored at 10.5. Okay, so fold it over. Now I do like to use the thick cardstock for my base card, but sometimes you can use the thin. It just depends on yourself. Okay. Then I like to cut my mats, which is the Boho blue. So the Boho blue is 14 by 10. So we have one for the inside and one for the front. Now, if you wanted to add designer series paper to this as well, you can do that. Okay, so if you had some Boho blue designer series paper or something that you wanted to do, you could add that. You could also emboss over that as well. Okay, so now this one is for the inside and this is 13.5 by 9.5. So if you were going to do anything like an embossing folder, you would do it on the same size on the front if you wanted it done, but you'd do it on the blue. Sorry, you'd do the blue one with the embossing. If you wanted to do designer series paper, you would cut it the same size as this one is what I meant, 13.5 by 9.5. So this is for the inside to write on, but if you were doing designer series paper, you would do it here, okay? Now, the designer series, there's lots of different designer series papers that you can use, and we'll go into that a bit more further down the track. But at the moment, we're just doing a very plain one for you, so you don't get too exhausted with it, because it can be. Our next piece of white is 12 by 8. Now, this is going to go onto the front here. Okay, and you can see why you can have some colouring behind here with paper. You can also see why you can have embossing folder on here as well. But look, we're going to keep it plain for you today. Okay, so let's just put this part all together for you, because we have a little bit more embossing to do, and we're just going to get this part ready today. On this video is our nice plain card. Okay, so we have our mat for the inside in Boho blue, and then also our mat for the outside. Now, talking about keeping it simple, we can actually add some ink to the front if we want to, because that's always the most simplest way to do it, because you've already got your stamp set. Okay, so we can add some ink to this, and you can choose what color, but I would probably go with whatever color you're using for your mat. So if I'm using Boho blue, I'm going to use Boho blue to just make a little bit of an image around the outside of this. And I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock here, grid paper here, so I don't mess this one up. And then I'm going to come in with this tiny little bud flower here. There's a little bud flower just in here. It's very tiny. I'm just going to grab it out if I can get it out. And I'm just going to put that on a little block. Okay, so I'm just going to share it with you on the grid paper first. So I'm just going to come down and share with you what it looks like. It's a little bud, and you do want to be careful because you don't want to get the lines happening around there. So just very lightly into your ink, and we're going to do it around randomly in around our card. Okay, so gives it a nice little, had a little hair there. And I love that you can sort of decorate it up with your stamps as well. So when you're starting off, or if you're doing a card for the first time, or even this vellum card for the first time, it's nice to think that you don't have to rush off and get something else. You've already got stuff right in front of you, like your stamp. Okay, I do like to stamp off the edge a little bit at times, like, you know, bring it off the edge and turn it around and bring one in there. Okay, so that just gives it a little bit of a pattern around it. And then we're going to use our Shammy to clean that. Okay, make sure you get it off right around, and then you can pop it back away. So there's lots of little ones in here, like there's that twig, like you've got this twig that you could do around the border. You could do just this little insert one here that you can do around the border. So there's lots of different ones that you can do around on that edge if you want to. And then we're going to bring this in over the top of it. Okay, so this is our white. I'm just going to get rid of that. So we're going to stick our blue on the front of our card first. I just like to open that up when I'm doing this so it doesn't bulge out. I love using the Tombow glue. Now don't forget we've got two ends to our Tombow glue. You know, a lot of people forget that we have two ends to the glue. If you're someone that likes to use a wider area, a wider part, you can. You can always take this end off too, and you've got your glue that comes out this side, or you've got your pen end this side. So this is your pen tip, and this is your border tip, and it's written on here, but still a lot of people don't realize we have two ends to the glue. Okay, which is really awesome. I love that. I also, if I'm using this end, like to sit this down, facing down like that, and I just sit it in a ribbon, in the center of a ribbon. I'll show you. Reel, just like that. So it sits there, and I can just pop that down into that. And it just holds it and has the glue going straight down. It just makes it easier when you go to use it, but it's to the top of the ink. So that's a really, really great little tip there in itself. Okay, and then we're going to place this on here. Now the one thing you've got to be very mindful with your vellum is I like to use my mini glue dots, and I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but it is on your list. So your material list have got mini glue dots on it, so hopefully you have, if you haven't got them, you did purchase mini glue dots, because they're more transparent not to see. Okay, so you've got to be very mindful when you're sticking vellum down that you don't see the glue underneath it. Okay, so this is our card now. Okay, so it's looking really, really good. So front, don't forget to always put the angel policy on the back. So the angel policy is the Stampin' Up copyright, so that if you're going to sell them at markets, school fetes, you've got your copyright on the back. I've had mine specially made up with my name on it, but we have the angel policy in the catalogue, so make sure that you go to your catalogue and you look for the angel policy stamp set as well. Okay, and pop that on the back. So now you've got it all ready to go with doing our vellum, but we've still got a little bit more vellum to emboss, and so we're going to get back to that on the next. We'll get back to that on the next video. So we've got our card all prepped, ready to go, and so we're going to do a little bit more embossing on the next video. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.